You are listening to Guillotines and Guitar, your southern infusion of everything rock and horror, served over lavish libations. Here are your hosts, Carol Gainey, Scott Barfield, and Chris Hicks. Enjoy.
This week's sponsors for the show are Shane's Tire and Towing, #1 in the tire business. With state-of-the-art equipment and alignment machine, Shane's Tire and Towing for all your new and used tire needs. Worth the call. Every time. Call Shane at 843-309-5920. Maryland Fried Chicken of Hartsville. The best shrimp and hush puppies in town. Great restaurant with great service. Fresh marinated chicken with an unbelievable menu. Do yourself a favor and stop by for some goodness. Northside Auto and Tire. If you need parts, paint, or tires, give Northside a call. 843-332-0131. Great staff with years of experience. For all your automotive needs, Northside is the place to go for dependable service. Spiro's Wings and Ale. Great food. Live music and a great atmosphere. Food and drink specials with the best service around. Always the place to be with friends, family, or just bring yourself. You deserve it. Thanks to all our sponsors.
And happy Monday night to you. I said it anyway. Happy Monday night to you. We're back here at the Guillotines and Guitar Studio. We got a special guest tonight, Mr. D-Rail Gainey.
The infamous D-Rail.
He's from Florence, South Carolina.
Sherrill, South Carolina.
Sometimes.
Sometimes he's in Florence.
I'm famous locally.
We got a heck of a show for y'all tonight. We are so glad.
I think he's from hell, actually.
See what I was talking about? Just I'm interrupting my if and ands right here.
If and ands.
My if and ands, he's already doing it. But we got a heck of a show for you tonight. We got some good topics for you. We got some libations to drink. So hang out with us, listen to us, and email us. Our email is guillotines.guitars. They hate the way I say that. They hate
guillotines.guitars@gmail.com.
And remember, folks, if you'd like to see a couple segments where Chris can't drink anything but H2O, send us your emails.
And that episode would never exist.
I don't think that day exists, does it?
Daryl, we glad to have you on tonight there, buddy.
We are, Daryl.
Well, I'm glad
to have you here.
And thank you for sponsoring us. Thank you.
Sponsor with Gainey's Construction.
Yep, we appreciate that.
Absolutely.
You bought these libations tonight. Thank you.
I did. Yeah, I can't come on this show much. I'll go broke.
Sure you can.
But I didn't know I was going to be on. Carol asked me last minute. He said, "You want to be on the show?" And I said, "Not really. I wanted to wait for y'all. I want y'all to build the fan base up a little bit." Then I'd go on.
Get worthy of your presence.
And then he was like, "Yeah, but if you come on, it'll help us build our fan base."
Well, I told him they're going to.
So he's trying to get my 5 friends to listen to. So.
Yeah, they're going to flock in here now.
I need all 5 of them.
Yeah. Pretty soon we'll have a full school bus.
All right. Christen the show.
We got to christen the show. What we got here? Daryl picked it tonight.
Yep.
We got, Daryl? What we got? What we're drinking the libations on?
We are going to do Jaeger bomb.
Jaeger bomb.
It's the cousin of the Fireball.
Yeah, that's my.
It is the cousin.
That's my drink of choice when we're out and about and having a good time.
All right.
Here's to a good show, fellas.
Good show.
Good show.
Cheers.
Here we go.
Cheers.
Oh yeah, that's a good libations.
That is. That went down smooth.
How you spell libation, Scott?
Libations.
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 You want me to say it in a sentence?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you want to say it in our tagline?
Please do.
You don't even know how to say it.
Chris is want to drink some libations tonight.
A lot of people actually think it is libation with a V, but it's not.
Like
it's libation.
You know, the first time I heard it, I thought it had a V in it. I said, what the hell is a libation?
lot of people do.
Was you drinking the first time you heard it?
It's a damn good possibility, Carol.
Probably drinking every time he heard it.
Yeah, well, I was like, damn libations. I love them libations.
Tell us in your ACDC voice about the libations.
I'm on a plane with libations. Shut up.
On the plane.
That made no damn sense right there.
It-
All right, Scott, what's our topics tonight?
Well, are you going to
Well, we got to
coin?
tell them the
Hey,
topics, then we flip the coin.
Just
right?
before we, speaking of the coin, and just I didn't mean to interrupt, but just before we start, because so me and Scott's brother Ryan was going to eat crab legs last night in Myrtle Beach, and he
Oh, Ryan is going to love
he's
this.
gonna,
He
he's
is
gonna
gonna
love it.
love this.
He said, when we play putt usually afterwards, he said, if you if I
such
win,
such
if
a
I beat
manly
you,
game there.
he said, then
Wanna putt.
you got to say it. You got to tell it. Tell it. And I said, because I told him last night that I was going to be coming on here, and he said, but you got to tell everybody I beat you. And I said, yeah, that'll be fine. I said, that's okay. And about 5 minutes later, I said, but if I beat you, I'm going to tell that. But I took my coin, my guillotines and guitar coin, and that's what we used to decide which course we was going to play.
That's pretty cool there.
Everybody can use
That coin has some
for-
weight on it, too, don't
It
it?
does.
Yes, it does. And we ended up playing, and the coin chose Lost Boys, which worked out perfect because at the end, that's what happens. He lost.
You
He
know
lost
what that
boys.
coin's made out of?
Black nickel.
Yep. Black nickel.
Yeah,
It's a good coin. It comes in many uses.
I
So
noticed on
if,
the end
if
it
you
says
purchase your
made out
coin,
of black nickel right on the edge.
yeah. If,
Mm-hmm.
if you purchase your coin, you can use it for things like playing putt, and
It wasn't bad.
So anyway, what was the final score?
So
Well, I don't think you don't have a final score, do you? 'Cause
not for him.
Scott, did you really want to bring that up?
But and I like to mess with him and say that I'm the. That's why I told him. I said their show tomorrow will be called "Hell to the King" because I'll write "King" on the scorecard
Hell
instead of
to
my
the
name.
no, it will not.
He didn't like that neither. Then he wouldn't hardly talk to me on the way home, which is typical. But I messaged him last night, this morning, nothing.
Yeah.
Called him
Silence.
He'll talk to you in about
2
a month,
months.
probably.
2 months, yeah.
Yeah, give him 2 months.
He won't talk to me, and I won't know why exactly. I kind of know, but and then he'll send me a message and ask me if I want to go eat crab legs. Like we ain't missed it.
He sends me side messages. He wants me to assassinate you.
He probably does. He probably does. Most of them.
One of our topics tonight, the guillotine topic, is if The Purge, the movie The Purge, was real, what would you do in that scenario? So I guess we
would
figured
you
out what
fight or
Ryan
flight?
would do.
Yeah.
Ryan be
One
looking
of
to
his
take out
list.
Daryl.
Yeah, one of his list.
Go get that son of a bitch.
So, and our rock topic for tonight.
Rock topic is going to be famous rock feuds. And that can be either between bands or within bands, you know.
So, like Daryl and Ryan feuding, would that be kind
If-
of like
if we were in a
famous
band.
rock
Well, I
feud?
guess I'm in a band, so you know.
So,
Yeah.
so
Me
it
playing
could
in
go that way, but
FGH and then GH and then FG and then FGA.
All the alphabet.
Yeah.
All the above.
Well, covered all. So
Yeah.
me playing with Jeffrey and Austin Patterson, and
So-
then me playing with Chris, and then Chris playing. Chris has got 40 bands. I got like 2, and he's in both of those.
Yeah.
40
yeah,
bands.
Chris.
Did he cut down on
Yeah, he
some?
did.
or-
He cut back. He said
Okay.
he said it was getting into his drinking time.
Yeah. No,
So-
no getting in the drinking time.
So we
Not my
got-
libations.
We got some good topics tonight, so we just need to spin the old famous coin and see which way the flip
Well,
goes.
since Daryl's our guest, why don't we let him spin the coin?
Okay, so Daryl, a
Flip it.
lot of times what we'll do is we'll spin it on
Because
the table
they're
instead
so
of
damn
flipping
heavy,
it.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And
Because
it
if you hit
sounds
somebody
like-
with it, they're going
yeah.
Watch this,
to the
Chris.
Carolina Pine
'Cause it
Box.
don't matter if it's heavy.
Oh, we flipping it.
What do we
What
have?
is it? What was it?
Guitars.
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 That's
Guitar
a-
topic.
Yeah, guitars.
Start with
Well
those
balanced.
famous feuds.
Well balanced.
The famous feuds. Okay. Who wants to go
I'm going last.
first? You going
Well,
last?
if you go
Chris will
last,
have
I'll
our
go
take
first.
it.
Well, you want the guest to go first?
Let's let the guest go first.
Or so
Let
are we
Daryl.
going to go?
Hey, he's paying for it. Let him go first.
Are we going to go clockwise like Chris wants
No,
to
Chris
do?
wants to
or
be
we gonna-
last. So
Oh, okay.
you can go that way.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
I
We'll go
always
that way.
always mess myself up because everybody ends up saying the shit that I wanted to say.
oh come
But
on.
My-
we gave you the opportunity to go first.
Yeah, and
that way nobody could take
but-
I
your
like the
shit.
challenge.
Hey, don't worry, because my answer will be well thought out, and
Oh, we know.
So you didn't have
oh
guessed
yeah.
yet. So you safe.
Yeah.
All right, so
and Chris is usually incoherent anyway, so
I thought of
Shut up, Scott.
I thought of a lot of different things that I know different people being ticked off or whatnot, and I could give a lot of examples. But
there's a lot of them.
yeah, sure, and I don't want to go through and say, well, I could have said this, or this, and then because I don't know what y'all's answers are, but I'm gonna go with Guns N' Roses and Nirvana.
Oh yes, I
Whoa.
remember that.
I didn't know that.
So back in 1991,
That
Axl was trying to get Nirvana to open for Metallica and Guns N' Roses on the stadium tour, and so he had started contacting Nirvana, but Kurt Cobain and actually all of Nirvana, David Grohl, all of them, they felt like Guns N' Roses were dinosaurs, professionally, musically, and personally, and he didn't want Nirvana to go the direction which Guns N' Roses, which I don't see how that could ever happen because it's completely different spectrum, and for you to end up being like Guns N' Roses, even though
I don't think would be a bad thing.
no,
I mean,
because they're one of the most successful rock bands on the planet.
Yeah.
Look at Appetite for Destruction. But so in 1992, they're walking through the airport, and he's like, Jesus Christ, Axl is blowing my phone up. Like he's constantly trying to call him, trying to get him to do it, and he don't want to. Well, he ends up going on a talk show or radio show and whatnot. And he says something about it. Well, of course, then Axl catches wind about it, and then he said. So now they got this 10th grade feud going back and forth, and then. So, of course, as we all remember, or most of us probably remember, in '92 when they done the MTV Awards, that's when it came to head. And
at the end of when Nirvana was playing.
yeah, and then at the end they found
At the
themselves.
And
Well, immediately after they found themselves like surrounded
yeah,
by
I
Guns
mean,
N'
you
Roses.
remember that?
Yeah,
Where
hello,
Dave,
Axl, hey Axl,
Dave,
hi Axl.
Dave
hello.
Grohl, where's Axl? Hey Axl, hey
hello.
Axl, waving to him out in the crowd.
And they did not. So that was and of course they squashed that years later. I mean, so David Grohl broke his leg and had that chair made so he could play, and he's loaned it to Axl Rose.
Yeah.
He loaned it to the Old Dominion, the country band. They several artists has borrowed that chair so they could continue to perform.
That's
you
cool.
know.
I like
And
that.
that's David Grohl's chair, and he let Axl.
Oh, yeah,
Rose borrow
yeah,
it
yeah. I
also.
remember that. And Axl Rose actually used it when he sang for AC/DC.
Oh yeah,
When Brian Johnson
that's
lost
right.
his hearing or whatever, had
yeah.
hearing issues, and he
he was-
couldn't. They didn't want to cancel the rest of their shows, so
They got Axl to step in.
and Axl stepped in, and that's when he had the
You're right.
broken foot. But yeah, he
Second
used
show with Guns N' Roses, he fell and broke his leg.
yeah
And he sung for who?
AC/DC.
AC/DC.
'Cause I-
Axl Rose did. He actually went on tour when Brian Johnson, the lead singer for AC/DC, had some kind of issue with his ear or something, hearing, and he couldn't continue on. But they had all
Doctor's
these shows
orders.
still left,
To do.
big money shows. I mean, you got promoters and everything involved, so they didn't want to cancel them.
Right.
And Axl Rose,
They needed a singer.
And
Yeah.
my point is I remember Axl doing the shows with him.
yeah.
But would he have been the front man that Chris would have been?
That's
Chris,
right.
give him some AC/DC. Come on.
He's on the damn road with the
Well-
libations. Hey,
So, no.
I put your right foot in.
Axl wouldn't have been the front
I
man.
put your
Axl
right
would have
foot out.
Very front.
been- Yeah.
They Angus
You do the
Young,
hug and funky.
Angus Young contacted him and asked him about playing with him. And I had somebody said,
He
You-
calls me the microphone bully.
yeah, I know.
No, I requested
And-
that, but he
I just went a little overboard.
I had somebody say,
never
Axl
got
Rose is going to sing for AC/DC. And I said, yeah. And they was like, I don't know if he can do that. I said, oh, I assure you if he can. Axl
Oh, yeah,
Rose
he
is
can
a
sing.
Axl Rose is not
He-
my favorite person, but he has an amazing voice. His
Yeah,
range
and
is
he
ridiculous.
actually did do a good job. I heard some of the video from that.
Oh,
but
I did too.
I tell you what, I saw. Did you see him sing at Graceland for?
I didn't for Priscilla Presley.
Yeah.
I heard about it, but I didn't see it.
Ooh,
Yeah, he's a.
What?
That one
Really?
did not sound great.
Yeah.
Oh,
But I mean, it could have been a lot of different things, you know.
yeah.
I mean, he was up there just a piano playing and singing.
What he did, November Rain?
November Rain.
Yeah, I read something about it, but I didn't.
Yeah, but it was
Rough.
kind of rough,
Well,
especially when he started out. It was rough, but it got a little better as he went along. But I mean, you know, you don't know what
You don't know the mix or
he had
voice
mixed or what was going on, and
Absolutely.
imagine that's tough to do,
Oh,
playing
sure.
just a piano, you know,
Yeah.
singing. But
Yeah.
Yeah,
That November Rain's a good
You
song.
couldn't
though.
do it.
no, well, I couldn't do it. I would attempt to do it.
You know, just to touch base and not to get sidetracked, but for 30 seconds, like that video y'all used to have where it showed Guns N' Roses playing all of these old songs. They're completely different than how we heard them when they came out.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like a lot of people don't realize that one of the first songs that they wrote was "Don't Cry." You know, and you didn't.
Well,
Hear it.
most of the songs they wrote were off of "Use Your Illusion" before "Appetite for Destruction." Yeah.
came out, yeah.
I mean, like they had like "Back Off, Bitch." They had, I don't remember, but a lot of them that were off of
catalog.
"Use Your Illusions" were some of the first songs that they wrote.
Yeah. I always liked Civil War. First tapestry I ever bought. I never learned how to read tapestry. You and Jason would go right through it, and I never picked it up. I just said, hey, my ear better get better, or I better practice more. You know?
But that's a good one though.
Yep.
Axl Rose and
Yeah.
Nirvana.
I didn't even know that
Oh, yeah.
was
That's
a thing.
Axl Rose had feuds with a lot
You
of
learn
Yeah.
every
Yeah.
day. That's
And
what
even-
we're here to do.
I knew
teach.
he'd come on here and I'd learn something.
And even, you know,
And you have.
even Nirvana, Courtney Love, and Nirvana feuded for 15 years. You know.
Yeah.
They took a few stabs at each other, too. But that's a different story. Anyway,
That's-
moving on. All right, Carol, what's your choice going to be?
So my choice, and
The
I,
puppets
and I thought
versus
about it.
Sesame Street.
I hadn't thought about the puppets versus Metallica or anything, but I did think about.
That was good.
I also thought about Axl Rose because you can think about Axl Rose and different things, but I thought about the Axl Rose and Slash controversy where, I mean, how many years does Slash go without talking to him or refusing to
A
get
lot.
on stage with him? Or,
Yeah.
And that thing, I don't know how many years it was drawn out. I'd say maybe 20. I mean, I don't, or longer. But it was a long time.
It
'cause-
was a long. Well, let's see. They broke up in '95, I think. And you know, Axl Rose kept it going or whatever. So, and then they didn't reunite with Slash and Duff until
Was it 19 or 16?
no, it
or-
was 20. What was that?
Just a couple of years ago.
Yeah,
It
2015,
was, I think it was
Or something like that.
16 or, yeah.
something like that. So yeah, so
So
it was.
it was a
Oh,
20-year feud.
absolutely. And, you know,
Yeah.
and Axl Rose went on radio shows talking crap about Slash, and he was like, he has nothing to offer. You're better off not even being around this guy, you know, just taking cheap shots. at him.
Wow.
Well, I remember.
A lot of deep
But
shots.
he
too.
wanted him
No,
back.
yeah.
He couldn't get him.
I remember when Guitar Hero, the game, you know,
Yeah, it has Slash on
had Slash on the cover, and Axl got pissed about that.
Oh, he probably.
But I was thinking, it's called Guitar Hero.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Who
not
the hell
called,
would you think it would be on?
it's not called Singing Zero.
Yeah.
Which he's a good singer, but he's just not a good. I'm speculating about what I see, but I don't think he's a great person. I just really don't. You know, he walks in one day and
Well, yeah. Who knows? But I mean,
yeah, right.
I know that on one of our previous episodes, shows we talked about. I saw Carrie Underwood, and she talked about performing with Axl Rose,
Oh yeah,
and she said, you know, that he's
super nice. Guy.
super nice,
I-
and
yeah.
you know, I mean,
And
I
she
think.
invited him on her tour.
We
Yeah,
talked
and
about
he
that,
did that.
not too long ago.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
one of the last episodes we did.
Yeah.
But I'm like I say, I think he gets a bad rap a lot,
And-
you know.
a lot of
and-
situations, I'm sure. Yeah, but I mean, imagine how much power he has with that fame.
Oh, well, I
and,
know.
And all of us don't understand what it's like to just even walk down the street and
Yeah.
be him. You know.
so I mean, I don't. I try not to, you know.
Yeah, keep that perspective.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't
she-
want to
I
dog
mean,
somebody too much
that-
just because you
yeah.
don't you don't know what.
That her band was on tour. They were playing, and then they went like bowling, and then she took him to see Guns N' Roses, and he had her get up and sing. You know.
yeah.
So that's,
But
That's
and
pretty
I mean, if you think about Slash and as far as just watching his appearances on TV or anything, he's pretty quiet. He don't seem to start a lot of controversy or anything. And I feel like if if Slash has got some beef with you, you deserve it.
That's
Maybe-
a super
Oh,
nice guy.
I
That dude
think
is
so.
a nice guy.
Well, and you look at bands. I mean, certain bands. I mean, you don't know who the drummer is, but like look at Motley Crue, Tommy Lee. People know who he is. Of course,
Yeah.
he's got his pecker out on Facebook.
Yeah.
But besides that, but I mean,
Yeah.
there's certain bands like Motley Crue's pretty popular. But I mean, like, I bet you most people that's just generally not into music like we are, but like, oh yeah, I know a lot of songs by Metallica. They probably couldn't tell you who the new bass player is, even though he's played over 20 years. It's weird for us because we followed him so long. And then if you look at like at the same time, like Slash is very popular, even though Axl Rose is. Slash is he's popular. Lots of times in certain bands, it's the singer.
And I mean, the name Slash, people know when
it's
you
a
say
household
Slash,
name.
they know the name and his look also, the top hat.
Yeah.
I mean, Slash
I mean-
is, he's got more prestige
and
than Hoover as far as a household name.
Just a odd bit of information because I listened to y'all's podcast when y'all was talking about. I think it was Chris or one of them asked where did Guns N' Roses come from. You said Tracy Guns, Axl Rose, because he played with Hollywood Rose, of course. But
Yeah.
so something was up. Tracy Guns and Slash were friends, and this is the time they were in school. And Slash was sick. I don't remember if it was mono or something, but he couldn't go to school. And that weekend, Tracy Guns was at his house, and he was trying to show him a couple of things on guitar. And so he leaves, and he's like, well, you can't go to school next week. I'll be back next weekend. He leaves his guitar with him. And so a week later, and Tracy Guns has been playing guitar for over a year. And a week later, he goes back to Slash's to pick his guitar up. And he's like, he literally could play better than I could in 1 week. And that's amazing that some people, a person walks down the street that'll never pick up a football that would be an amazing quarterback. You know what I mean? Or
Some people just have it. Just
Yeah.
have that.
Natural.
But and the worst part, though, is some people will never know that they have certain things.
Yeah.
Because they don't get the
Well,
opportunity
that
or the.
you mentioned that reminds me of a nice little, curious little guitar fact with Slash.
Here we go.
No, but Slash, when before he was in Guns N' Roses, he went to audition for this band. This is back on the Sunset Strip, where all the 80s bands were. He went to audition for this band. It was a band called Poison.
Oh, yeah.
He auditioned. He said when he was leaving the audition, he said, in walks CC DeVille, and he was like, this guy's got it before he even plays a note. He said, I know I didn't get it, And,
Because the way he looked and the way they looked.
And, of course, CC got it, and, but I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think Slash is complaining too much. Because,
Not now, but
Yeah.
and I mean, CC's a great guitar player, and I love Poison, but if you look at, I mean, Guns N' Roses achieve status that most will never,
Oh, I know.
and they understand.
Very
that.
few
I mean, you just
get to their
experience
level.
what they do, Yeah, and he got it. I mean, that was, sometimes a door shuts in front of you that you're not happy about, but it leads way for something bigger and better.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So, anyway, that's my choice. Moving along, Scott.
Well, apparently, we all have some Guns N' Roses stories. Cause I was gonna do Stevie Nicks and Lindsey Buckingham, but I thought about doing that, but I didn't, and I chose.
Get on the Gainey train now. Come on.
Well, I chose Axl Rose and Vince Neil from Motley Crue.
And I thought about that.
And that was in '91, I think. And what had happened was Vince Neil's wife at the time, Charisse, I think was at a club or something, and Izzy Stradlin, who was the guitarist for Guns N' Roses at the time, was there, and he apparently groped her, or that's what she said. And she told Vince Neil about it. And they were at, I think, the MTV Music Awards, I think it was, and Guns N' Roses was playing actually with Tom Petty on stage. And when they went off stage, Vince Neil was backstage. And when Izzy came off, Vince Neil told him, he said, you ever touch my wife again, I'll kill you. And punched him and knocked him on the ground, Well, Axl found out about this and got pissed off because, it's his bandmate.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And so Axl started talking shit about Vince Neil to whoever he talked to, said if I ever see this guy, I'm a, kick his fucking ass, and it went on for.
It escalated. Pretty.
Yeah, I mean, and this was at the time when MTV was actually about music, and so they had all this stuff going on. But it was, it got so far that Vince Neil actually went on MTV and challenged Axl Rose, live on TV to a celebrity fight. Said you name the time and place, I will be there. You keep running your mouth. He said it's put up or shut up time now, buddy. So, and I thought, me and Ryan watching those, we were like, it's the craziest damn thing, and nothing ever
manifested.
Axl never,
No, he didn't respond.
He didn't respond. But I mean, I remember it went as far as where on Motley Crue's video for Anarchy in the UK, it shows Vince Neil. He performed because it's a live. It's at like Donington or something. Yeah. The video is, and you can see Vince Neil wearing a shirt that says Axl, and it's got like the Ghostbuster sign around it.
Yeah.
And also
I remember that.
Yeah, and also I think the camera flashes out to the crowd. You see some couple girls that are holding this big banner that says, Vince, you will kick Axl's ass. I mean, so I mean, it got to where it was everywhere.
Well, Axl actually ran out after that happened. That incident, he ran up, tried to run up to Vince with Motley Crue, and he was like, "You don't ever fuck with anybody in my band." And of course, they traded words. It ended up escalating to,
Yeah. So I mean, it was, but I mean, and who knows what's real when not? Yeah, I mean, that could have all been publicity. I mean, you don't.
It could have been. Yeah. I mean,
well,
possibly.
I feel like things wasn't quite like then they are now, but
Well,
but it could have been. I mean,
but it was great back then, though. You hear these damn stories, That's like true rock and roll stuff, right?
Oh man, you got some true rock stuff. Or are you gonna talk about some Kid Rock and Tommy Lee? Well, I mean, where are you going?
But
you see what he did there.
I see. Well, everything's apparently been Guns N' Roses.
Yeah,
or
it
Motley
really
Crue,
has, not intentionally, but it because I'd been thinking about it for a long time because I was like, Axl and Slash stayed, non-kosher with each other.
Well, do you ever think about this? What in the midst of like, let's say Appetite Destruction album, what would that be without Slash or vice versa? Axl Rose.
It wouldn't be what it was. I mean,
it wouldn't, would it?
But finally, they mended things and they got things together, and and they back. Yep.
Carol, we just lost half our damn show.
Well, I mean, we the strongest half anyway, so keep rocking.
One's got a weak ass bladder, and the other one's just an alcoholic, a raging alcoholic.
And this is not the place for that.
No. Hey, and by the way, we do have designated drivers, so don't think we drink and drive.
Yep,
we all have designated drivers.
We
always drive.
We got.
No, we don't drive. But
we got several good friends that will always.
Yeah.
Always is one call away.
We do not condone drinking and driving.
We do not.
We do not. But hey, welcome back, guys.
Welcome back.
And welcome to the show.
And just as why we in the midst, and I was listening to y'all talk, and I was like, boy, it got boring real quick right there. But y'all might want to take a minute to appreciate your sponsors.
Yep.
Seems how nobody's done
and
that.
we do that, but it's automated now, so we got.
Yeah, we professional now.
Yeah, we get a little higher class.
Y'all must have more sponsors than I thought you did.
Hey, we do. We need a banner now.
We picking them up left and right.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, guitars and guillotines where it's at.
Guillotines and guitars. You don't even know the
damn
name of your own
podcast.
show.
I don't even know the name.
And it's right in front
What
of
the
you.
hell did I say?
Guitars
and guillotines.
He don't drink and drive, so he's got somebody driving him up here while he's drinking before he gets here.
Yeah.
This is why I love
right there in
this
front of you.
Moving on to our topic, Chris.
We're moving too fast.
Chris,
what kind of goodies?
Moving
what kind
too
of
damn
goodies?
fast.
I'm sure you got a good
I got
8-minute
two
story.
of them.
Two. He's going for two.
I'll say one for a what we call it, admirable mention.
Admirable.
Honorable.
Admirable.
Honorable mention.
That's for the Navy and for the general public. Which admirable?
We got admiral mention.
Admiral.
We got an admirable mention
Lil Wayne, that's for you, I
And
guess.
I can't believe none of you guys started. I thought you old timers would have started off
No,
with
we
this, but
try not to get you.
And I went towards it.
Scott sent us an email and he
Nirvana,
said we
not
got
really
to try to
good.
quit taking Chris's stuff.
Yeah.
I felt
What?
sorry for you. Yeah.
my first one, I'm gonna say the first one, and I can't believe y'all didn't.
Is this the honorable mention or is this the?
No, this is my pick.
This is your.
This is.
Well, why don't you build up to that one then and do the honorable mention first?
Ladies and gentlemen,
Chris.
tonight, my pick for the guitars. Is that building? Are you feeling the?
No,
Are you feeling it? You
I
want me
mean,
He was saying
I'm
use your honorable
saying use your
mention.
honorable
Ladies and
mention
gentlemen.
first, and then the one that you wanted to talk about.
All right, my honorable mention would be Scott Stapp and Fred Durst.
I thought about that one. But
Yeah.
It was just such a.
Yeah.
Kick your ass, huh?
He wanted to until that challenge was made.
And then
you
Scott
didn't hear
Stapp
nothing
said,
from him.
"Oh, I'll kick your ass. I'm higher than you."
No, he said, "You want to go?" And Scott Stapp said, "With arms wide open." That's what
But
he
that
said.
that was a crazy one because Scott Stapp was freaking. I wouldn't mess with that guy back in the day.
He
That
fought-
dude was out offering his Fruit Loops.
He fought 311, the whole band.
I mean, that tells you something right there, you know. 'Cause there's a
in a
bunch
bar,
of dopers.
in a hotel, for no reason.
Yeah.
He fought him for
He
no
did.
reason.
Yeah, he ended up breaking. One of them got a broke wrist. He came in a hotel bar that they happened to be down watching a basketball game, and he started hitting on one of them's girl, and they was like, "Hey man, that's my wife or girlfriend, whatever." I don't remember exactly, but he got into a beef with one of them, and then all of them, they ended up like kicking him out of the hotel bar because he was fighting 311. He was by himself.
That's
He was-
funny.
I think that was right before he got on that bicycle saying the CIA was trying to put everybody in rehab.
Oh yeah, he kind of
He was
He
out
went
there.
off the tub there, son.
And don't mean nothing bad about it. He's straightened himself back up.
Yeah,
and
he
then,
has. He's actually.
He's definitely doing pretty good. But he
shaved his head.
I wish I knew what he was taking to make sure I stayed far from that stuff. Because
Did you ever hear about I think I told you this
him and Kid
before.
Rock.
Him and Kid Rock.
Yes,
I ain't
and I
heard
even
of
thought
that.
about that
Fill
one.
us in, fill us
They were filmed. It was, party, and it was backstage somewhere. I guess it was a show that they did together.
I thought it was a hotel, but maybe.
It might have been, but both of them, were
Intoxicated?
no,
Well, they was partying,
yeah,
but
probably
partying,
more.
but
They had some female.
yeah, both of them were getting some
Mr. Potato Head.
Services.
yeah, getting some services from some women. Both of them were, and they were filmed, and Kid Rock was asked about it later by some reporter talking about that tape when it came out. How do you feel about it? He said, "Well, I feel bad about it," and she was like, because that's objectifying women. He was like, "No, because I was filmed with Scott Stapp."
That's what he said. Hey, and what this Scott Stapp do? Remember, he had his hands behind his head and kicked back. He said, "It's good to be king."
Yeah.
That kinda took me-
In the video, why he's got
Why he's receiving-
a female.
Why he's receiving services?
Yeah, getting services. The camera comes in and he throws his arms back. He says, "It's good to be the king." But yeah, so
What do you think, kid?
Kid
He was
Rock
embarrassed to be
not- he
filmed
was,
in the-
yeah,
with Kid
Scott
Rock.
Stapp, yeah.
Oh yeah, with Scott Stapp in the same video.
Did you see that they was doing? You remember MTV did like movies and popcorn? What was that? What was that movie?
Dinner and a movie.
Dinner.
And he was
What
on
the
there.
hell?
Whoa! Yeah.
Yeah.
That girl was scared
And
of
the
him.
guy from Sopranos was on there.
He was probably scared
The
of him,
mafia
too.
guy.
The head honcho.
No, not him. But
you
it,
talking about
it,
yeah?
it
I
was
know
the
you're
other
talking
one. It
about-
was
yeah, I can't remember
his name was Pussy. His name was Pussy in
Real life.
No.
on the
No,
show.
On the
on
show.
the show.
On the
Big
Sopranos.
Pussy.
I don't remember. I mean, I didn't watch it a whole lot. But
But anyway, he was
Billy,
on there, and I'm sure y'all saw the clips. He was so damn drunk. He was
he
like
was
grabbing the
hammered.
girl in the head, like "Ah!" and he was just crazy.
Yeah.
And the guy from Sopranos, he was like, "Something's wrong with this cat."
he
What the
was
hell's
out
going
there. He was drunk.
Oh yeah,
He was doing karate moves, like because they show a movie and then they come to the clips and they got all these people sitting around eating popcorn and having a few like libations and
yeah.
and having a good time, little setup, and a guy and a girl co-hosted, and he was the guest. And he's over there. I mean, he's like asking her out on a date, like during the show. And
Like
she's
he
You
was-
want to go out on a date
oh
with
no,
me?
no, and he was like doing these whoa karate moves and stuff in between, like when they would say, "Hey, we're going to a commercial break. Don't stay tuned. We'll be right back." And he was doing like the moves and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, it was wild.
That dude was crazy.
Definitely.
What the hell was it? Did he ever admit what he was on?
No, but I mean,
I think it was
I've seen
alcohol
some
at the time.
video. Yeah, I've seen some videos of
I
him
think it was drinking
lately,
excessively.
and I mean, he seems like he's back.
Was he back down to earth?
Yeah.
Who's vibrate?
Scott.
Hey,
Yeah,
what's
he's-
going on over there?
he's pretty
This is a
straight.
live
I got
show.
That's his claw.
Can you please handle that?
I got
Tell
a call
Travis
coming in.
Tritt to call back later.
All right. So, not to get too sidetracked, but
All right, so Chris, what's your honorable mention? Or was
Well,
that
that
your
was my
honorable
honorable mention.
So-
Fred
so
Durst
what-
and Scott
So
Stapp.
what's your number one pick?
So my number one was like I say. I can't believe you guys didn't pick it.
hey, before you say that,
I think we kind of hijacked that one because I don't remember you saying anything about Fred Durst.
no, but before you
Scott
say that,
Stapp.
why don't you tell the results of what happened? So they had a feud. Fred,
Yeah.
Scott
Yeah.
Stapp.
You never said anything
Yeah,
about.
you didn't finish.
Oh well. Like you said,
I mean, I know
he challenged him. Fred Durst is just trying to let it slide off. He don't want no part of this dude.
Yeah.
Obviously, because he wouldn't respond to nothing, and
Yeah.
he was like, "Tell me where you are now. I'll come right now."
Well, he told him they could have.
He was like, "Yeah, I ain't doing that. Yeah,
yeah. He told
I'll
him.
get a chainsaw. I'm gonna
Make your
skin your
ass
ass raw."
So just to elaborate on what you were saying, he actually challenged Scott Stapp challenged him to a fight, and he said, "We'll donate the money to our favorite charities."
Yeah.
And then when there was a deal overseas with some war type, and I don't remember exactly what it was, so I'm not going to elaborate on it. But they showed Fred Durst, and he said, with everything going on with our country, we need to stick together. And I mean, he's on like MTV or something. He's like, so I'd like to publicly offer an apology to Scott Stapp. He said, we don't need to be fighting amongst each other, And he said,
Oh,
I'd like
really?
to step up and say that. And that was pretty neat. And all of a sudden, they showed a clip of Scott Stapp sitting in some interview, and they were like, "Hey, did you hear what Fred Durst said?" He said, "Nah." And they was like, "Look at this." And he watched it, and he said, "Yeah, he's a pussy." And that was his answer. That was his answer.
Yeah. I'm going to take his chocolate covered starfish.
He went to Daryl Gainway. Yeah.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you, when somebody calls you like that, it's
That
time to
dude was
put up
big.
with
Scott
trouble.
Stapp was cut up now. He's ready. He
Well,
had that crack
he
body.
5'4".
He had that
5'4".
damn. I'll stay up for 24
What?
hours, sleep for
5'4"?
2 hours.
Nah, I don't know how tall he is. He's got to be, taller than that. Like he's not like Shinedown singer. When he come through, I was like, "Hey kid, where you going?"
Got your ID on?
He's like, "Oh, part of the way I'm coming out there," and I was like, "What is that? Was that him?" He needs some Gene Simmons boots. But hey, what he likes in size, he makes up in vocals. But anyway,
Yeah,
all right,
he
after
does.
your honorable mention, I didn't want to cut you off. You just didn't finish. But go ahead.
Okay, moving along. Chris, what's your number one choice? What is the choice?
Steven Tyler and Joe Perry.
Steven Tyler.
Steven
Joe Perry.
Tyler and Joe Perry.
Yeah,
Toxic-
that's why I
the
was
Toxic
surprised. I was
Twins.
the Toxic Twins. That's right.
Yeah.
So, I read a little bit about them. I heard they traveled on different buses, different planes to every show because they couldn't stand each other. Well, the
And
story
they
goes,
broke up too.
yeah.
A time
Well,
or
they
two, I
said
think.
Joe Perry, worked hard to keep Steven Tyler awake after doing all the drugs, like on stage, like motivating.
Oh, they were
like,
both.
Yeah, they were
Pretty
both
heavy.
on.
That's what they
Well,
call
he
them.
claims
drugs
he,
back in
was
the-
carrying the weight.
Well,
That's
I
from
know-
what I read. That's what he the camel broke the back. that-
Well, in all reality, if you look at their album Toys in the Attic, they'd rented this huge house, put a studio up in it. One of them would stay up all day doing stuff. The next one would stay up that night. They was on different sleep schedules, and one would race the other ones. And ultimately, the guitars that you hear on there was two different guitar players. They was not Brad or Joe's playing guitar.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's crazy. Where they, and that's why they Run DMC relaunched their career when they done Walk This Way.
Oh yeah,
They
Yeah.
were dead in
Yep.
the water. They were broke.
Yeah,
They were
they
dead.
were. I got a curious little guitar fact though. With
wait.
With
You got to
Aerosmith.
say it right. It's a guillotine or
No,
guitar
it's a
fact.
guitar-
fact.
curious,
Is it a curious little-
curious little
Yeah,
guitar
curious
fact?
little
Yeah.
guitar fact.
He said
Because
it.
it's curious.
I'm corrected. Go ahead, Scott.
All right. Aerosmith, back when they were working on Permanent Vacation, which had "Dude Looks Like a Lady," "Angel,"
Yep.
you know, those songs on it.
What
They
it takes.
their record,
Hold on,
yeah,
hold on.
their-
Y'all smacking like people are gonna listen to
That
this
was me.
shit.
That was me.
Goddamn, sound like the damn Cookie Monster.
No, I figured they'd think it was you.
God, I was like, what the fuck? I was like, what the fuck is that? I thought water was dripping. I was like,
hey,
and I looked
Hey,
over at
what-
Daryl. He's like, nom, 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 nom.
language.
We've got
Language.
a tray here. What do they call those, Chris?
Charcoal boards.
Charcuterie, a charcuterie board.
Whatever.
Anyway,
I'm sorry, Scott. Go ahead.
Anyway, yeah. So when Aerosmith was working on this album, the record label wanted to bring in Bo Hill to help write songs. You know,
Right.
Bo Hill was written for Kiss, Bon Jovi, written for a bunch of people.
right.
And Bo Hill told his story about he walked into this rehearsal space where they were rehearsing, and said Steven Tyler had this lick in his head he was trying to work out, you know, and said it was what ended up being "Dude Looks Like a Lady," but he said it Steven Tyler was singing, and the lyrics he had was "cruising for the ladies,"
Yeah.
you know, cruising for the ladies. That's why he was singing it, you know, and Bo Hill was like, that sucks, you know. Yeah, it's not gonna be that, you know. That absolutely sucks. But he said, so right off the bat, they didn't see eye to eye because it was Steven Tyler was upset about outside writing coming in anyway, you know, because they have never written with somebody else before, you know, and so he wasn't happy. But anyway, Bo Hill said they ended up, you know, they butted heads at first, but they ended up getting along, you know, and writing some pretty good songs. But he said it was at one point where Steven Tyler was sitting there telling stories about just, you know, him being out, and said he was out with Vince Neil from Motley Crue. Said they were at a bar, and he said he was sitting up at the bar. Vince Neil was standing over here, and he said there was some drunk guy trying to hit on Vince Neil, thought he was a woman.
Dude looks like a lady.
And that's what Steven Tyler said. He was like, well, you know, because, I mean, Vince Neil, I mean, the dude looks like a lady, you know, and Bo Hill said, that's the song right there.
Dude
Looks like a lady,
Yep.
you know, and that's
where it came from.
yep. So, I mean, that's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah, so Dude Looks Like a Lady was about Vince Neil.
And you know,
And actually, the Dire Straits has a song, "Money for Nothing." The line in that one of their songs is about Vince Neil also. They were watching a video of Motley Crue, and it's the one that little faggot and earring in the makeup.
What?
yeah.
I didn't
Yeah,
know that.
that was about Vince Neil too.
Oh,
Yeah,
And you know, the funny things you said that Steven Tyler was upset about them bringing Outside Rider in. You know how many number one songs that Aerosmith has had?
the one, and that was from Dionne Warwick. The
Diane Warren. The
Diane,
songwriter.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it was
Don't Want to Miss a
yeah.
Thing from the soundtrack
That was their
for
first
Armageddon.
number
and
one.
she wrote it, and that was the only soundtrack. They talked previously about going to the award shows and watching like Hall and Oates beat them out. You know what I mean? Which
Yeah.
I mean, Hall and Oates have put some good songs in.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
not, I'm not knocking it, but it's just depends on what you used to listen to and what you like. But and then also
when I first heard that was their
on
first and only number one, I was like, you mean
all them
Dream On?
songs,
Or
yeah,
I mean,
number
nothing went number one.
And that's
but
why
yeah.
he's talking about Joe Perry and them not like getting along. You know, Joe Perry's wife used to go to the bathroom during Dream On. She hated that song because it was Steven Tyler's like song that he wrote, and it's a great song as far as I'm concerned. But she would like, yep, time for me to go to the bathroom because she didn't want to hear it.
I look in the mirror.
I hope
Singing
you're not
Yeah,
singing
just
because
like-
hey,
God, no.
Dream On. but also, you know,
Good job, Chris.
when they were writing one of their albums, they were in the studio. They took a break because Steven Tyler had a block, you know, and they went across the street to the movie theaters, and like Young Frankenstein, or one of them was one of the Frankenstein type movies, and I don't remember exactly what was playing. And when Igor says "Walk This Way," he was like, and he went back right after that and wrote "Walk This Way," and that was the title for the album. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yep. So that
Anything you had to add, Chris?
Nothing. That
Besides
was
your
y'all
AC/DC.
just, y'all
We
just,
we just hijacked your
They
topic.
As
took
usual.
over.
We just
They
we
took over.
elaborated.
I brought up the topic and y'all brought the education. That's what I like because
did.
that's less work for me, and
just
I
elaborate.
sound smart afterwards.
Very good guitar topic. For
Absolutely.
Today. It ended up turning out well.
I thought it was good.
So now we'll be moving on to
That was a
Guillotine.
damn good show.
Guillotine.
Yeah.
Guillotine topic.
And the
Okay.
pearl.
Hold on. We got a Kristen.
Well, we don't have any shots.
Hold on, I get it.
Did you
I'll
say
get
we
a
got
shot.
the Kristen?
That's none of your damn business, Daryl.
Give
Well,
me some. Give me some.
He didn't say.
Fireball.
You said.
What?
You said Christian.
So what we doing, Chris? What shot?
I'm going with the Jaeger. I don't like the fire. I mean, the Fireball's all right, but it'll give you Fireball is the touring drink of Florida Georgia Line.
Give me Fireball too. I'll take a Fireball. Daryl said he's doing
I'll
the
take
Jaeger.
it. I'll take it. That's heartburn in the bottle right there, buddy.
All right, everybody's doing Fireball.
You got to watch.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I know if you're not watching this live, Chris is fixing the shots. I had never seen him fix many. I've seen him drink a lot of them, but I honestly think I've seen Chris take enough shots to float a John boat.
He fixes them.
He likes shots. He likes the
he fixes them
libations.
on the show for
Hell, I
us.
might as well fix me another drink while I'm up.
You might as well. And that was a point I made earlier, Chris. You didn't probably hear this before you got here. I was like, at some point in time, maybe y'all should do a special to bartenders because of what they see with the music side of bands coming in and helping generate business lots of times. I think
We
that,
are looking for a permanent bartender.
you seem like you're doing pretty good. So Chris said that they was looking for a permanent bartender as he fixes his drink.
He likes to.
He's heavy-handed, quickly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The only thing I've seen him do, have him pour that drink, I have watched him eat all-you-can-eat crab legs one time.
Was that the Red Stag bottle you just bought?
Yeah.
That is none of your damn business.
That's it, yeah.
Damn.
Your Jim Beam is looking awful.
He said he wasn't hungry but thirsty.
Your Jim Beam is
Definitely.
looking very targeted.
All right, so we finished Chris in this second part of the show.
Yep.
And we go into the
Hey, I'm back.
horror side of things. Chris just got us a Fireball shot.
Fireball. Everybody drinking
That's
Fireball.
cheers to everybody. Everybody out there listening.
Happy
and watching.
libations.
Yep. Happy
We're going to have a
libation.
libations day.
All right. Woo.
Woo!
Yeah. If for some odd reason this podcast don't work out, y'all can always continue with this recipe, so to speak, that y'all have, where you just continue and you do exactly opposite of what rehabs do. You'll be a hit, guaranteed. Guaranteed. Chris, you all right, buddy?
Man,
kinda what
I
we
feel
doing now
good
anyway.
now. I'm
You
ready
sure?
to go. I'm ready to educate you.
All right, well, educate me.
All right, Guillotine's topic. What we're talking about is The Purge. The movie come out in 2013, and it was based off of a U.S. It took place in the United States, but it was a new political party
The NFA,
called the New
Founding Fathers of America.
And what they did was they thought that if they had a purge, which was for 12 hours,
Is it 12 or 24?
12
hours.
12 hours.
Yep,
7 p.m.
12
to 7
hours,
a.m.
for 12 hours, anything was legal. Murder, theft, whatever.
No law.
No law.
But
It's anarchy in the streets, basically.
Yes.
That it would help curb crime and violence,
Yep.
And so that's what it did. And so what
Better for the economy.
So what we are going to talk about is if that was
A real scenario.
a real scenario.
Yep. What would you
what
do?
would you do? Would you purge?
Would you fight or flight? Would you purge?
Would you
Or what
purge?
would you
Would
do
you-
to survive?
Yeah.
So I think that I started the last one and we went. Which way was that, Chris? Was that clockwise
That was
or counterclockwise?
That was analytical clockwise.
That was counterclockwise. So now, Chris
That
is,
was what?
Explain to our subscribers what
Chris is to my
analog
left.
I need to know what that means.
I just
He
be making
ain't
shit
gonna
up.
get. Yeah, Chris is to my left, so he's gonna start with this, and then we're gonna work Scott and then Carol and then to
You
myself
don't
clockwise.
get nothing when you go that way. You go Chris and Scott. I mean, it's all done. Scott's a book of knowledge. Scott, how much did the first purge cost to make?
$3 million.
I mean, you can't
How
go
much?
after
Hey,
him.
how
I
much
mean,
do they all four cost them? I mean, all five
There's
pieces.
5 and there's actually 6 on the way.
Well,
It's,
there's 5 and 2 series with 20
Yeah,
episodes.
the Purge movies have grossed right over $500 million.
450.
500.
That's a
It cost.
that's
It cost $53 million to make. All
Oh
six.
well, yeah.
Yeah,
It's not. Yeah, you take
Yeah,
it,
yeah,
but
yeah, right.
they've grossed.
Yeah, yes, but
Not
but
netted,
my point
so-
is they've been a profitable
Yeah.
enterprise.
Well, it has been
And
very
my
profitable.
point is it's hard to go after him because I mean,
I'm confident.
What is it, Chris?
oh me. So
No. So
He's
what
saying
is
what
Scott?
is Scott? He's going
The
saying he's a
microphone
book
bully.
of knowledge. Microphone bully.
I'm a yeah. He keeps on. His ass is the first purge I'm gonna do.
What you gonna kill him with?
This microphone.
Good.
All right, so
All right,
Chris,
Chris.
If I'm in my house, I want to see you kill me.
All right, so I thought about this, the whole day.
You'll probably be at the studio.
You can try to hide, but
I got a
If-
whole
look at
notebook.
do you, hold on. Did you two just see this book that he's been writing?
What?
Look at these notes.
Hey, I do
How
some
to,
research.
How
And that's
to
just
how
for
to
the night
purge
show.
people. He's got a cotton picker. He's like, I'm gonna just run Chris's ass over with a damn cotton picker.
Hey, I do. You, how many notes you seen me have?
None. You see, Scott?
How many notes you have?
Hold on. You should. Hey,
Daryl's
you
got a
think that's
notebook
something, Daryl? You should see his expense pad. Wow,
I've
that
seen
thing is 2 pages long.
Well, he's doing a damn
That's because I
program with you.
yeah. I had to pay for everything.
Oh God, here we go.
now that's not a fair statement.
Well, no, Carol pays too.
Well, wait a minute. What are we saying here? I don't pay for
no,
nothing.
we all
Hey.
we all pay.
Well,
we
no, I'm
we
not saying that, but
I don't contribute.
we can.
I'm not a
we
tribute.
we can look at our expense reports, and I don't see Chris's name anywhere on there.
Hey,
I
we
tribute.
all, yeah, and
It's my only episode. I'm 130 in. Let's roll. All right, Chris, what you got for the purge? What would you do, honestly?
Well,
and
I thought
and coming
about
to
it.
my house is not part
I
of it.
thought about running, but if you're purging,
Yeah, I don't
you
think-
prey on the people that's running, because they're scared and they're easy targets. So
Yeah.
so
I thought about this thing. So I think I'd just fucking get naked and paint my body up. Get a spear going.
Yeah, but Chris,
just naked. What?
watch your language, please.
Oh shit! Here we go. His damn blue lights is on. He's
Cussing
writing
again.
tickets.
Well, I mean, you dropping F-bombs left and right. I mean,
Did I drop an F bomb?
yeah, let's keep it classy. Come on.
I didn't drop an F bomb.
Come
the
on.
Yes,
man's
you
talking
did.
about getting naked, and you want to keep it
Move on,
classy.
move on.
He's
I said
talking about a
naked.
spear naked.
Painting yourself and a spear.
All right,
What
Chris,
color we
moving
going?
forward.
Well, before I was rudely interrupted.
I didn't mean to break your
What
train of thought.
color?
Go ahead.
So they would, the people that's running. That's the people you're gonna prey on because they're easy targets. And, they're scared. They ain't gonna fight back. I'm gonna get naked. I'm gonna get wild as shit. I'm gonna do some crazy shit. Like some damn cult stuff.
Somebody's going to shoot you. First 5
Yeah.
minutes,
Hey.
you're out of the movie.
Well, I
It's
tell
over.
you what.
You going across the woods?
I
to
guarantee
Mike
you that
Brock's
dude
house,
looking
ain't
through the scope. That dude right there, he's a good purger. I'm gonna leave him alone. Look at him, he's crazy as hell.
They got looking at that scope going,
I'd be like,
that's an easy target right there. Pow, that was down.
Yeah, I'd be like, boys, he's on acid.
you? He'd say he's naked. Let me make him afraid real quick.
So I think I'd purge. I'd get crazy looking, I'll go to suit on a Monday. The purge is on a Saturday. By Saturday, I'm
Saturday.
fucking getting crazy. Fucking shit all
So-
over my face.
There you go.
So if you purging, just
F-bombing it
you
up,
killing,
Chris.
you killing. So you participating in killing people?
Well,
Sorry.
I would try to make myself look crazy as hell, where they wouldn't mess with me.
So you want to run, but you don't want to purge.
Right. I'd be like, you make me,
What language is that?
That was I don't know. That was my purge language. Oh!
It sounded to me like you just walked into the buffet.
If you want a bigger chunk of juicy meat, eat my butter here, Nikki. She's a big treat. Why don't you get in line for a piece of rind?
Oh, my God.
You know, I do
what
some
have I
crazy
walked
shit like
into?
Hey, I'm telling you. I mean, just think about it. Ain't nobody gonna mess. I'm like, I ain't mess with that
I
dude.
mean,
He's purging just fine. I ain't gonna kill him. He's good.
So, and everything aside, and I'm just playing the devil's advocate here. So, you're gonna paint yourself up and stand outside with
I'm
a
a little
spear.
like Zufaki off of Lion King.
Sufaki?
Or Rafiki. What the hell's his name? The baboon.
I don't know, but I'm pretty sure neither one of what you just said was it.
Ladies and
Rafiki.
gentlemen, please somebody email us.
It's gonna be-
who
it's gonna be one of
Zufaki
them.
is. And email us how to spell Zufaki.
It's gonna be one of them cats.
So, so you're gonna get a spear and you could just
Yeah,
go
because
try
I mean, what about your family?
Yeah.
In all honesty, what about like you said? Let's say you're home and you
They
paint
wouldn't know
yourself
about
up.
my family because they would just see me. They'd be like, "That they ain't no way."
So you
somebody's
gonna-
baiting that
you
motherfucker."
gonna do
So
that
why
to
wouldn't you have
deter.
a gun? I mean, why would you go out
Or
there
game
with a spear?
plan.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. I mean, it would just excuse my language. It would mind fuck you.
No, Chris.
You ever heard that old expression about certain people and it just have nothing to do with money, but they say they're not
Well,
long-term
say a
financial
brilliant
planners?
mind like Daryl comes along, you know, purging, and he
No, I'm not
sees
coming
my
your way.
naked
Yeah,
ass
but-
in there like, you know.
I know, but you realize you got people purging on buildings, and if somebody's got a scope on you and they see you out there doing it, guess what they're gonna do?
they just gonna look at me and have they was like, that
No,
dude's
no,
cool
they're
as
gonna
shit.
be like, I'm taking this one out.
I'd be like, $20, I can drop him on the left side. Not the
Yeah.
right, not behind him. I'll drop him on the left side.
Yeah.
I'll shoot him right on this side of his face, and he's going to fall that way. $20. And they're going to be like, you own
My
that.
family would be in a safe place, but I would deter them from,
Why
from
wouldn't
that safe
Why wouldn't you
place.
be in the
Deterred.
safe?
Why
Go
would
ahead.
you not be with you?
Yeah. Why wouldn't you be with?
I want to deter them away from my family.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
That's
well,
why
see-
I'm dressed in funny colors and I'm.
Well,
See,
I don't
I-
know if you
I-
being naked.
I
would
think
be
you need
funny.
to
Yeah.
think about that. a little.
I take
Rafiki.
it. I'm completely
All right.
different than you. Is
Yep.
what I would do.
Just, Chris, I want that was your answer, but I want us to go, and then as we go, and I want you to take some of this in, and you may change your answer.
I'll
at
eat
the end.
your ass.
Maybe, yeah. I don't doubt you're cunting, but just let's roll.
I'll
and
start in the skinny ass toes.
Let's listen to everybody else's answers and see where we go.
Yeah.
Scott, what you got?
What I would do is, I would basically do what the family did on the first one, where he had his
the
house
steel plates
fortified.
and all that
Yes.
stuff.
I would have my
Of
house
course you would,
fortified.
you pussy.
No, and I would be in there with
The long game
yeah
with your family.
with my family, and the one thing that we wouldn't do is I wouldn't have a stupid ass kid who opened up the door to let somebody in from outside. I mean, you know, I guess you'd like to think that you'd be, you know, humanitarian and be like, if somebody's out there screaming at your door and help me, you know, that you would let them in. But
So,
if this situation was real,
right.
I would just be like, sorry, dude, you know, go somewhere else. I'm
Right.
sorry, you know, you're not
So-
coming in here.
So if,
You
it,
know,
if
and-
it was a real scenario and I ended up outside your door, or Chris, say for example, would you let us in? Honestly,
What, Chris? Hell.
How many
So if it
groceries
was
do you
me-
have to last the
If it
12
was
hours?
me,
Well, you already told me you're gonna be out there with a spear running around naked. Hell no, I ain't
well,
letting
that's
you
just
in.
that's just an act, man. I'm trying to deter it from my family. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, hey Scott, man, I'm cold. My nuts is. I'm naked. My makeup's running. I need in.
No, I mean, if it was somebody I knew,
yep.
Like me.
and they came up saying,
Like me.
help me.
Like me.
Yeah, well, like you, Chris. Yeah.
Yeah.
If it was somebody I knew, yeah, I would.
Would you strip search me?
It
I
be
would let-
After I
hard.
was naked?
I would let them in because I mean, if it's somebody I knew, like I say in the movie, the scenario was
Yep.
it was somebody they didn't know,
Correct.
and I would never do that.
Correct.
You know, I would be like, you know,
Sorry.
sorry, guy, you know, go somewhere else.
Sorry,
or
you're
do,
dead. Run.
Yeah, run or
Right.
do something else. But
So one question. So
now,
Wes-
under the scenario that you came running up to my door and the people were right behind you closing in,
you're fucked.
That's
then
nervous.
as I would like to say I would let you in, but in all honesty, I would probably be like,
God, Sierra, Carol's fixed to get
yeah,
killed.
I'm sorry, Carol, but you know,
Yeah. So
unless it was only a couple people and I had to firepower inside
to
to
take them out.
Yep.
Yep.
But if I didn't, then it
So-
would be, sorry,
another,
you
another,
on your own.
Another question. I know I'm asking questions, but let's say me or Chris or Daryl or Brian or somebody ended up at your door and you did let us in, and then all of a sudden you looked out and they 25 people outside your door and they say, "Turn them loose, or we coming in." What do you do then? Do you push me out the door when I'm saying, "Scott, my leg's fucking broke, man. You can't put me out the door, Scott."
Well, again, that depends on how much firepower I have.
Well, if you don't have you pushing Carol out.
Yeah, but in all honesty, if you say, "Okay, I'm gonna turn him
If
loose,"
they look at
and
you and
Daryl
say,
walks
"Listen,"
out, there's 25 not left anymore.
if they look at you and say, "Listen, we got tanks, we got everything. We want Carol. We won't mess with you, but if you don't send him out, we will infiltrate your house and we will kill all of them."
And how do you trust that scenario when you go to let me out, or you go to let Chris
Are you?
out, or
Hold
whoever?
on.
Well,
Let Scott answer the question.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
It's a situation. We all sitting around here having drinks, having a pretty good time talking about these topics.
Yeah.
And it's easy to sit there and say what you gonna do.
What you
We're
gonna
not
do.
actually
What you think
in
you're
the
gonna do.
situation. Yeah, I mean, and I can say no, I wouldn't let Carol go. I was like, Carol, you staying here.
So perfect
But
example.
who knows? I mean, if we're actually in that situation, and I feel like
Your child's gonna die.
that my family's gonna die if or the Carol dies, then in
Bye,
all
Goodbye,
honesty,
Carol.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, no offense, but in all honesty, it would be.
He's gonna say, "Carol, you got 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Call Daryl.
So let me
Yeah.
ask you a
You're gonna need
question.
some help." But before you say that, Chris said that we got tanks outside. So in the purge, they can only have weapons 4 class or less. No explosives, no dynamite,
Yeah.
no rockets.
I missed that important detail.
Yeah,
So let me ask you a question. What year did you get married?
Got married in 2012.
2012. What year did you meet Sierra?
In 2008, 2007.
2007. What year did you meet me?
A long
Sorry,
time.
Carol. You can't.
he's playing that long time.
Yeah,
friendship role.
no,
But-
I get that. No,
No, I
yeah,
know
but
what you're saying.
I mean, I got if we're looking at this thing like I got a daughter now, so
Yep, right.
and I've only known my daughter since 2017.
Correct.
So,
Yep.
but I would do anything for her, and if it was going to come up to my family, and I really thought that my family was going to be killed if I didn't do something like that, then
Because
I'd be like, Carol, go out the door. Sorry.
You want me to force you out the door?
Because
Or
I
you
know-
want to walk
But,
out the door?
I mean,
because
You can get on top of my house
Hey,
if you want to.
Just
I
turn
don't mind that.
sideways. You skinny, they won't
hey,
hit you.
because I know your daughter would say, "No, Daddy, don't send him outside."
And it would be a hard.
I'd be messing with.
choice,
I'd be
yeah.
messing with his daughter. I'm like, would you rather him go or me?
I wish you would
Who's
use
your
a.
favorite?
I wish you would use a different wording on certain things.
But
Yeah.
I would be messing with his daughter.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Oh,
No,
God!
don't even go there.
Oh, here
So-
we go.
I'm just messing with
so
you.
I mean,
knew what you
it
meant.
is a scenario that's got a wide range.
It
and-
does. I mean,
Yeah,
it
We
can
could go
a
either way.
lot of different ways. And like I say, I'd like to think that I wouldn't do that to you,
Yeah.
but
you don't know.
who you don't know.
Right.
I mean, it would depend on
Everything.
how many. Yeah, it depends on everything.
Scenario,
How many
situation.
people there were out there, and if I knew that they could get in my house.
Yeah. Yeah, if you felt like your house,
If I felt like my house was secure enough, then
you'd be like, "I'm gonna wait you out 12 hours, bud. I'll meet you in
Yeah.
the street tomorrow."
I wouldn't do that. But it's that's what it is. But yeah.
All
That
right,
was a
awesome.
tense conversation.
Well,
wasn't
I mean, it
is that?
was.
I know how you feel about Carol now.
Great. Well,
If the sharks come, he's
Well,
fucking shark meat.
What about you though?
Yeah, I'm
Remember,
gonna be honest.
I kept
Hey,
you. I kept
know.
you before you even come in.
I was a little ahead of
from
you,
the top of
Chris,
the building.
Yeah.
Yeah, you never even met him.
I was the
over with.
distraction. I was like, blah, 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 blah.
All right, Carol. What would you do honestly? Because I feel like my that's going to be slightly different, but that's opinions.
What would you do? Like Daryl? What was your plan? What,
So, but,
you
I mean,
told
would
me
you-
your plan, but
Would you purge?
No,
would
I
you
hadn't-
go,
I hadn't
go
told you
out
my
and
plan.
try?
because you're the last.
So I
remember that.
I would not purge because there's a lot of people in the world that I don't agree with. There's a lot of people in the world that I do agree with. There's people in the world that I don't care for. There's people in the world that I love.
That's what I'm saying. What if you knew somebody who was like a child molester?
Yeah.
You wouldn't try and go. Hey, it's
So-
free reign where I can
Yeah.
go
Would you
take them
help
out.
them?
Live close to your child.
Yep. So that
Would you
That
wouldn't
could-
go and
Scenario.
no, that could change the fact. But honestly, if somebody was a child molester, I can't sit here and honestly tell you that I would not try to purge. But here's the thing: if purging was a real thing, you would have so many people that would want to be chaotic, make financial gain from different things, or just
I know.
do whatever
Go
they want
breaking
to.
banks.
They even depict that in the movies.
Yeah.
So I
But
would.
that's what we're saying is that if this is
Right.
real,
So, would I want to go out and purge a child molester or something? It may cross my mind, but the court systems would take care of that. And I honestly,
Hold
Court
on.
system
No,
will
hold
not-
on. Yeah,
No,
court
wait a
system-
minute.
wait a
they
minute. I
don't take
think
care
that's
of
shit.
it now.
yeah, no, I'm not saying they perfect, but
No,
I'm
they're
saying,
not even close.
but I'm saying, because if purging was a real thing, you would have a lot of people that wanted to purge. And I
Well,
honestly,
I know you would. I mean, it'd be like the movie. You would have
honestly-
a lot of people out there who
yeah,
and looking just to do evil things.
yeah,
Oh,
evil,
yeah.
yeah.
And you
I
had
mean,
some people,
probably one or
some
two
people out there
sitting
who
in
were
this
going
room.
to do, good things. Try and take out bad people. But
Right.
But let me
But
ask you,
is that really a good thing, or is it, is it?
well, it's
I'm not saying it's a bad thing.
based
but
off
is
of our laws. No, you can't just go out and kill somebody.
Right.
But we're
you got
talking
to
about
stand your
if-
ground laws, though.
But here's the thing.
Well, yeah, but I mean that's
That means they
different.
come and try to do you bodily harm. You
Yeah.
just didn't go out and kill them.
Yeah. So-
It's not like if I knew somebody who was a child molester and if the purge happened, I was like, that's premeditated.
Yeah.
That's not the same thing as stand
So
your
what
ground.
would you do,
Right.
Carol, in this situation? We're
So
in the
honestly-
purge.
So honestly, in this situation,
You just cut me off.
I didn't cut you off. Did Scott cut you off? So
No, go ahead.
So honestly, in this situation, I wouldn't want to stay at my house because even if I could afford to have
Shields and
the highest security, I mean, how long will your house actually hold me out if I got me and 15 other people trying
and
to
I've
get
crawled up under your
I
house.
don't know.
15
I know
minutes if
the
I set it on
access
fire.
under your
Yeah.
house, Scott.
in? Yeah, and that's the thing.
Infiltration,
If
20 minutes.
If I wanted to get in your house, I'm just going to set it on fire. I'm going to dump gasoline on your bricks. Or
Well, you don't have to get
whatever,
in because
you
you're
know.
going to send him out.
Yeah, but the thing is I would try to have a spot to where it was hidden, it was underground, it was a location that I could take my family to,
And get
that
there
somebody
before
would
the-
have to find, yet that I would go a week before the purge started. And it'd be something like you looking out in the woods and you couldn't see nothing, and I would have a hidden location. I'd have 2 escape routes out of it if I could afford it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I would
And
try
that'd be
to.
smart too.
Yep, and I would try to.
The only thing
hide.
is, when you go back home, your home's probably
Correct, but that's
Demolished.
I can start over. It's kind of like
Yeah, material
take
things.
everything I have.
Well,
I'll
yeah, I
start
know,
over.
but still,
don't take my
that's a-
freedom.
that's a lot of starting
burden.
over every year.
Where you gonna sleep
it
at,
is.
yeah.
But I would like to have my house barricaded to where, hopefully it will be secure the next day. But I would like to be in a spot to where, I had something underground. Say, for example, with 2 escape routes, and I had something fixed to where, if you tried to get in when you come down the first hallway, I got some C4 or something waiting that's going to blow up.
Yeah.
I'm going to say, oh, somebody just tried to get in. But, I'm going to have cameras mounted in the trees or whatever. I'm going to try to hide and protect myself because eventually somebody is going to try to take capital gain. And I don't know that capital gain is the right word, but
No gain,
Yeah.
profit. Profit.
Somebody
is
wants to
capital gain.
profit.
Capital is just being able to make.
because the thing is, you would have a lot of people that would just ride through nice neighborhoods and they'd say, damn, there's where Sir Scott Barfield lives. Let's
Sir
get in his
Scott.
house. Let's get in Sir Scott Barfield's house and see what we can get out of there, because it would be chaotic. And I would try to protect myself and make sure I had plenty of firepower. And I would try to have plenty of protection, like you would protect your house. I would try to have a hidden location that was protected like that also.
And that would be smart, too.
Yeah, and it would be, because I would try to survive. And then, after the 12 hours is over, you say you hear about Chris. Somebody shot him. He was running around naked with a
I got him
spear.
when I was on
He
top
was
of my
naked.
house.
Yeah.
I saw him out naked in the street. Yeah,
He looked like a
He
Blue
was-
Man Group, but he had a spear and a bone in his nose. It was a KFC
yeah,
bone.
I took him out.
So I would like to have a hidden location. I would like to have it protected, like, say, they protect their houses for some of them that can afford to.
Okay, so now if we ever have a purge, though, you just told everybody what your plan is.
I did. So,
And I've been taking notes, buddy.
So
I've been taking notes.
Sunday was Easter, so happy Easter to you. And if you can find the eggs, come find them. I mean, that's basically the bottom line. I'm going to protect it, but you got to find it first before you start trying to work past my protection factor.
I get that, but people can follow you.
They can.
See where you go.
They can, but
All they got to do is
Who's
start
that
at
coming
the
knocking
Morning
on my
Monster.
door?
yeah.
All they got to do is watch the Morning Monster and just follow it.
Hey,
with you.
that's it. But long as I get there a little early.
All right, D. Gainey, what would you do?
Oh, I'm ready for this.
Are you really?
I am ready for
I
this.
don't know if
He's
you're
got
ready for
some.
this.
He's
My
got some,
brother,
He's
what is
got
the
some
answer that he's
medieval
got?
time
Oh,
stuff
All
ready.
out of salt on
I got
everybody.
spikes waiting on my driveway. I got guillotines in my.
Guillotine.
Yeah.
Yeah, guillotines is old fashioned.
Damn it, Chris. Come on.
They only take one head at a time. I wouldn't be going with that.
All right, let's go.
Where we going?
Going to Daryl's house.
We want to know
I
what
can see.
Daryl's
I can
house
see
has got in
Daryl would
store.
be. Have you ever seen that video with a guy who has Sabbath Tree playing while he's shooting all his guns?
That's
That'd be
Daryl.
Daryl.
That's Daryl.
Shooting out the
That's
door.
not fun. That's not even funny. I don't waste ammo like that. So, thinking about the purge and looking at the purge, they went a different way with it. So, rules of the purge, and they make that announcement just before the siren goes off and announce the start of the purge.
Well, but I mean, everybody
Well, it's like,
knows. Everybody knows when the purge is.
Absolutely.
So, I
they
mean,
know when
but-
it's starting, but they hear that announcement. But then the purge is set up originally as a kind of a they're trying to see what's going to happen off of it. So they use just Staten Island in the first one, and it's like an experiment basically. They want to see what's going on. But then the scientist that's involved with that realizes that they turn around and had like militia go out and hit certain targets. They used that purge as that, and
Yeah.
they were upset. And she found out about that, and then they drug her off to supposedly kill her. And then if you look at the rules of the purge, you cannot execute certain political, like presidents.
Yeah, political
citizens.
figures. Yeah.
But then if you look at election year, then that female senator that's hitting her ass, and they like she's 1 point behind in the polls, and he's like, she's supposed to undo everything we've done. We got to change this, because actually what they've done is they turn around and they realize that they could get rid of a lesser class of social stature, poor
Yeah.
people, because I mean, let's be realistic, people like that can't afford to. They would be better off to hide. Period. I mean, because you ain't got to run, but just like if you break my house, if you see my gun safe, you can steal it. All my guns are not in my safe. Most of them's not. A lot of them's hid. If you don't know where they're at, then it's a lot harder for you to steal that. But at the same time, they set that purge up in certain, realistic reasons, and that's what I was telling Chris earlier. Class 4 or less, guns, machetes, knives, You can't use explosives. Like I can't buy a tank and say, "Oh, I'm gonna kill this girl. She lives in this apartment, so I'm gonna blow the whole damn thing up." You can't do that. But at the same time, I don't know that. I feel like, because I know a lot of people as like-minded as I am, and if you honestly think about it and you watch the purges, these are happening in cities just like Staten Island. That ain't the country. People that we know sit in the woods and hunt and they hide and they
I know.
camouflage.
But we're saying if this was real
Yeah.
all over the country.
Right, but
not just in cities, not just.
That's right. But what I'm telling you is everything that we've seen on the purge is based on the city. If it was real and they come to the country, they got to play a whole different ball game. But at the same time, it would be people like us that live in the country. So they already adapted to this, so they would change scenario. But I'm just going to be honest. There's certain people that has ticked me off pretty bad, and I would probably participate in all honesty. And I think there's safety in numbers. I know like-minded people, so I would put a group together and
go out and hunt.
I would go out and I would have a small list, but also I would participate in people that's just trying to go out and rape some mama because they want to and she's got 2 small children. No, I'd smoke that head, plain and simple. Because most people, and if I'm just being honest, most people have not prepared like I have prepared. I didn't buy one pistol, and I didn't buy one rifle, and I didn't buy one shotgun. I bought a bunch of them. I got enough ammo to make sure Pine Ridge is never populated for 40 years. I mean,
I'm coming to your house.
I can actually do that. And that is, and once again, just to reiterate
Chris
on
is
something.
coming naked with his spear.
If you see me, I'm like, Daryl, I'm here.
But once again, something that I would reiterate that even Carol said is, if you come to my house, I'm probably not going to be there. There's not much there that I'm gonna leave that makes much of a difference, and I can rebuild whatever. And I may.
So are you gonna have a place to go to, or are you just gonna be
got
out
a bug out?
Well, I would probably have a place to put my loved ones. I would probably have a few certain people to make sure that my stuff is protected, and then I would have a group that's going out to make sure that if Jim Boy Bob's wanting to come kill this single mother that's been struggling, I'm gonna make sure that we string him up by his toes after we skin him, and it's gonna be a point that something like a purge is okay.
So,
everything's legal.
You're not gonna put a bullet in somebody. You're gonna drag it up.
Make an example.
No, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to make it. I mean, I might do something, shoot him and then make an example. But you got to understand the purge gives you something like that. Gives you the ability to go out and do whatever you want.
Well,
but it
it
also
does.
puts you in a situation where you those rules apply to you, so that can happen to you. But a lot of people are unprepared, and a lot of people don't. And I hope they never have to be prepared. But if you look at history as a whole, I mean, what do you think people thought when Pearl Harbor got bombed? They went into complete panic mode. Most people wouldn't have been prepared.
A lot of
They
people
wouldn't have had food.
Well,
they didn't have.
wasn't.
I was in a situation in my life years ago to where I was out of town working, of course, what I'd done, and we would go to a place and shoot and have a good time, and I'd go buy bullets from Walmart because you can buy anything from Walmart pretty much. But then one day I was like, hey, 100-round boxes, y'all don't have those? No, we get a truck every 2 or 3 days, and after about a week and a half, I'm like, hey, what is going on? Never had a problem. And at this point in time, I'm sitting on like minimal ammo at home, and I'm out of town. I'm 6 hours from home, and I'm like, now this is crazy. And don't get me wrong, I had an AR-15 with me and 1,000 rounds of ammo that I brought from home. But at that point in time, I said, a gun is not as good as a ball bat if you don't have ammo for it.
Oh,
and
it's a paperweight.
And so I turned around, and when it started coming back, I started buying everywhere I went. I may walk in somewhere and say, hey, give me a box of 30-06 and a box of 30-30, and how about that 40 caliber? Give me that box there, 200 rounds for how much is that? $89? Yeah, I'll take that too. And I started stockpiling. And it was because of what I seen that if you get in a situation.
So you are ready for the purge if it happens.
I could play the purge or anything else. But I mean, in real life
He
situations.
can't handle my spears.
We've been at a point in time. Hey, the worst part is I would shoot you so far off you wouldn't hear the shot. You'd hit the ground, and I'd leave your spear laying there right beside you. It wasn't even more.
Does anybody know when in the movie The Purge when it happened? I mean, what was the date?
The date was it was so initially, according to the movie, they started in 2014, and then in 2016 they decided to.
But I mean, when was the date? When did the purge start?
Time and the date.
What date?
It was it July?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Was March 24th.
21st,
That's
2000.
reason-
that's what I was about to say.
2000.
You know why? You know why it was
Stole
March
my damn
21st?
answer.
Wow.
It was the day after the spring
The day after
equinox.
the spring equinox.
Oh, okay.
That's what I was going to say. The
The
spring
spring
equinox.
equinox. is
I was just about
no,
to say that.
No, and this is actually something that's pretty cool. How they, the director,
Go ahead.
the director,
Tell the story.
the director and the writer of the movie, he and I can't remember what his name is.
Eden.
I had it, but
Eden.
No, it's
Eden.
It's not. But he actually got the idea for the movie from a Star Trek episode.
James DeMonaco.
Yeah, DeMonaco. James DeMonaco.
That's what I said.
That's what
But
you were supposed to say, wasn't it?
he got the idea from a Star Trek episode, which was I can't remember the name of the episode. I'm not a Star Trek fan. I mean, I read this, but in that Star Trek episode, the Starship Enterprise and their whole crew goes to this planet
Right.
that is actually, they think when they get there, it's very peaceful. The people there are peaceful and all.
Oh, absolutely.
And so they're like,
great.
this is great. And then they realize that the inhabitants of this planet have one night only that's called the festival, where
They
they ravage and
Anything goes.
Pillage,
anything
murder.
go, all that
Damn,
stuff
I didn't think
No.
about that.
is what they
when
do.
you said the festival,
no
I-
law in the
But
land.
it's-
Ferris wheels
but
and titterwhirls and- that's what I
it's-
thought.
It's called the festival. So it was. That's where he got the idea for the movie. Also,
that shit sucks.
he also got it from. He was involved in the writer and director.
Yeah.
James Monaco was involved in he had a drunk driver cut him off in traffic one day.
Oh, well.
Well, he didn't know the guy was drunk at first, but
Till he.
about wrecked him. He had his wife in his car. He followed the guy. They pulled over, and they almost came to blows with each other, And the police were called and all, but James Monaco said after the whole incident, the police came and they took the guy to jail, But he got back in. His wife was so mad because. I mean,
Well, what happened to
they
him?
could have
They
been
coulda killed
killed.
him. Yeah,
that
absolutely.
she said, I wish we had one free murder a year
Oh wow!
because I would kill this guy.
it
She was
makes
so
sense
mad.
now.
And so he took both of those experiences, and that's where he came up with the
With
purge.
the
That's pretty
storyline for
good.
the purge. And
But
if-
I mean, that's pretty cool, though.
It is, and if you honestly think about, especially society today, and like I said prior to this, I'm not trying to get political because I'm leaving that out. But like on election year, they trying to take a political adversary, and that's why they changed the rules because you can't touch political people with a certain stature, senators, president, and they changed it because they fence to send somebody
Yeah,
after
they're
this person.
fixing to lose
Yeah,
power.
yeah, and they
so
gonna
wanna
try to
change it
eliminate that.
Yeah, they don't want it to happen.
And at the same time, let's be honest, think about how most people in society act today. Some like-minded like us, some different. Regardless of what you think, imagine if they was one day a year where you knew that the things you've done, that if you affected somebody, that
Oh,
they
yeah,
could be
you could
thinking
be-
about you
you could
and
be
be like,
taken
you
out.
know what, I'm going to
I'm
fix
getting
that.
naked.
I
I'm
got
getting naked.
one
I'm
day.
getting painted up. And I'm
and
getting naked.
I will guarantee you, as bad as that sounds, and I'm not saying that I would support that because I definitely would not. I'm on the same scenario with you. If one of my friends comes to my house, as long as people I care and love about my family, my kids,
Even if I'm naked.
if they probably even if you're naked, as long as my family, like if you come to my house and I got to send Chris out because my son could die, then he's unfortunately probably going.
Hey,
But if
I'll
I'm
go
at
out
my
in
house
style.
by myself and you come to my house, then we fence to go to war, and you better hope that you got as much as I got, because in all reality, I'm gonna have shit set up to where if you come to my house in that situation, I'm probably gonna cut you down before you get down the driveway, and you're not gonna know where it come from until you see the
I'd
rest of them
spear
drop.
you through the blinds.
Spear through the blinds. You probably
You
can't
would
even
be
catch
peeking
a
out
fish.
the blinds. I'm like, "Soom!"
Where are you gonna get this spear from?
Handmade.
Handmade. He's
Hand-
gonna
Handmade. Oh yeah, he's gonna
From
make
the
it.
oak tree in my front
soak
yard.
it down with taco soup.
The oak
I mean,
tree
it's gonna be
to my
ready.
front yard. That's
All right.
impressive.
I think we are about out of time.
Oh, here comes the damn party pooper. We out of time.
So
Well, I appreciate the invite, and I thoroughly enjoyed it.
we appreciate.
I thought the
you coming on
topics
the
was
show.
pretty good. We got a little sidetracked, which is easy to do,
Yeah,
and y'all
we-
do a lot.
we do
and-
that
and
a
I
lot.
understand.
Yeah, Scott talks a lot.
But
so
We
it-
we
as-
kind of go down in the
As
ditch
long
a
as
lot.
it's interesting, it's entertaining, and that's the whole point. I've listened to most of y'all's shows, and I thought
well, I know you would let me in if I was naked and at your
I'm
door
afraid.
with nobody behind me. You would let me in.
I don't even know what you're talking about there. All I had to do is put a box of chicken in the woods, and you never come to my door. You've been in there squatted, your balls in an ant bed. You over there eating chicken. And they be
So-
eating on your balls.
Good topics
So
tonight.
I can tell this show is not going to be for the kids.
Hopefully not.
But
Little
good
bleak.
topics tonight, and as always, we appreciate our sponsors.
Thank you, Daryl.
Thank you, Daryl, and all our other sponsors. We really appreciate.
So I'm
your
the first
support.
guest is actually a sponsor.
Yes.
I feel honored, privileged.
It is.
And this is the 6th episode.
Yep.
I'm
Cut
the second
six
guest.
cut, baby.
Cuts.
Cut
Oh,
6.
cut six.
Cut
Excuse
6.
me, cut 6.
So
Well, hold on. We gotta wait because his
Oh, he's
weak ass
good.
bladder didn't wait.
we-
We got to wait till Scott comes back to the microphone to end the show.
We don't have to wait.
Yes,
but
we do.
can.
We got to wait. We can't end the show without him.
This was for me was very entertaining and enjoyable, and
I knew
I like
you
to
would
talk
enjoy it.
anyway. And I like music. I play music. We all play music.
Hey,
so it's
tell me
different for us.
again who won putt putt the other day.
The King. And I told him this cut should be held to the King because I know Ryan's not going to like that. He's probably not going to talk to me for 2 months. And that's okay. I'll get him back with crab legs. I'll probably eat crab legs 25
here we go.
times.
Here
Can
comes
always
Scott.
reel him in.
Here comes Scott. Oh, can we end the show now, Scott? Now it's your weak
Scott,
ass bladder.
Chris is
I
ready
thought
to
we were
end the
already
show.
in.
No,
I
you
tried
just
to tell him.
we
He
was
put
was
the brakes
ending
on.
it, and your bladder was like, "Oh, please, can we get pee pee now, sir?" And you had to go pee pee. All right, this is Guillotines and Guitars. We had a great
This
time
is
with our
guillotines and guitars.
Christ. He
Yeah. And they
his
had
blue
a great
lights is
time.
on again,
He keeps
Well-
but this is
blue light.
Guillotines and
my
Guitars.
blue light is always on with you, apparently.
Guillotines and guitars.
We appreciate our sponsor Daryl being on tonight.
Say it again, Chris. What is it?
Guillotines and Guitars.
There you go.
There you go. Good
Did
job.
I say it right?
Say it
done
again.
good.
Say it again.
Guillotines and
Guy-
Guitars.
No.
Don't you shouldn't have went for
Guillotine. Now you
two.
done fucked it
can't
up
go
again.
for two.
Guillotines.
Gilla.
My God, man.
Guillotines.
Gia.
I sound like I'm
So
Latina,
it's
don't I?
6 of one, half a dozen
Hardly.
of another.
Hardly. You don't
No,
sound
you
like
don't.
you like. You sound like more like AC/DC than you sound Latina.
Well, listen, this is our cut
Six.
6. This is cut 6.
made it
We ain't
6
stopping. We're
shows.
keeping going. Thanks to our sponsors. We appreciate Daryl Gainey.
Yes, thank you, Daryl.
Gainey's
I enjoyed
Thank you,
it.
Daryl.
Really did.
clearing, grading,
had a good
trees, removing
I wore a hat so you
bushes,
could read this shit.
removing.
Yard
Gainey's
raising.
All the
killing that
above.
construction. I wore the hat so he could read it, and he never even looked. Poor old Chris.
All right, we appreciate everybody listening. Thank everybody for emailing us tonight. Thank you so much. And
And I
You know
appreciate being here. Hey, please like and share,
yes,
Yes, and
and
please
make sure that you share this.
buy the merch if you want it.
buy the merch.
Coins
Hey,
are
the
cool.
corns are awesome. They and I got one. Me and Chris done a little show
Daryl
together.
actually bought the first one.
I second
He-
one.
Other than, I mean, we got ours.
Actually, it was
Was it the first one?
you bought the first one.
I seen them and I said, "Oh, I like that
You
one."
got the original
They're
one.
really cool. Black nickel. They heavy weighted. They're awesome. Awesome design. And
if you
you-
want to purge, just put it in your hand and knock somebody's ass
I might
out.
make a belt buckle out of it. If we ever have to purge, if Chris comes to your house, you'll be out of food in 2 days and dead
Fling
anyway,
the
so you won't have to worry
coin.
about it.
Throw the coin at
7 hours, you'll die from hunger. You'll be good.
But thank you for everybody listening. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you to all our sponsors. Thank you, Daryl, for coming on to us tonight.
Chris.
Absolutely. I'm glad
What?
y'all have me.
You're not a damn dictator. Quit slamming your damn fist down on the table.
Chris,
Hey,
don't,
hey, I can hear it.
don't be bullied, Chris. Keep going.
All right, this is Guillotines.
Guillotines.
Shit!
Guillotines and guitars.
Guillotines
Cut
and guitars.
Guillotines.
We are out.
All right.